back to my lilac hill. I hope you guys are doing well. Today's video is just going to be kind of a vlog style day in the life video. I've got a lot of things to get done around the house, and I've got some things that I need to kind of clean up. This summer was just pure chaos, and so I have got to get some stuff put away in the garden shed, get the yard cleaned up a little bit. Once a week I do like a deep clean on my house, and so I need to work on that today. Have some laundry to get done. If I'm feeling up to it. I am 20, how many weeks pregnant am I? 25 weeks pregnant, 26 weeks pregnant, somewhere in there. And so I'm trying to continue my workouts and riding my Peloton. And so depending on how tired I am from doing everything else, I may end up getting a workout in. And then I've got some stuff I've got to get cooked for meals for the week. Kyle has started harvest along with his parents, and so they are super busy, and so I'm trying to kind of help with that and make sure that he's got stuff for quick lunches or something to take in the combine or in the grain truck with him as he's making his runs to the elevator. So yeah, it's just it's very busy time right now in harvest, and then also we've got just a handful of weeks before baby gets here, so we've got a lot of things we've got to get done, and I thought I would just bring you along. So I hope you enjoy. It has been a couple of weeks since I actually filmed this video, and I finally have a moment where I can sit down and do the voiceover for it. Part of it has just been super busy, and when my son is home with me, which is all of the time, I try to be present with him. I try to not make the house a place where he has to be quiet all the time so that mom can film or mom can do voiceovers or whatever the case may be. So it makes it to where I'm not very consistent with my YouTube channel like I would like to be, but he is my priority, and so it just is what it is. And then on top of that, we weaned our calves this week, and so we had quite a few calves out in the lot right next to our house that were missing mama and crying incessantly for 2 days straight. And so you wouldn't have been able to hear me do the voiceover over all of that. And it's harvest time, so we've had grain trucks and combines coming in and out, and the grain bin has been running, and grain bin fans have been running, and so there's been a lot of noise. And Miles actually spent the night last night at my in-laws' house with all of his cousins, and so I'm taking advantage. Kyle is out doing the animal feeding chores. The calves are no longer crying for mama, and since my in-laws are currently occupied with 5 grandchildren, they're not running the combines or grain trucks, so I'm taking advantage to get this voiceover done. But right now, you just see me cleaning the house and trying to get everything back in order. It got a little bit further out of hand than I would like it to be, and there's just something about a clean, organized house that sets my mind at ease. It helps me to not be as stressed. I am a person that I like things neat and tidy and organized, and when it's not that way, it really gets under my skin, and I get overwhelmed and full of anxiety because of it. And I've had to learn a little bit as I've become a mom, and as I have left my corporate job to help farm full-time and be a stay-at-home mom, my standards have kind of had to be adjusted, because I don't ever want my house to be a place where people don't feel comfortable, that they feel like, oh, I can't touch anything or move anything or just live. I want my family to be comfortable living here and not feel like it's going to stress me out that they moved something or that they got toys out to play. And so I have really tried to calm down over the years. But once it gets to a certain point, it's like, okay, I have got to get in here, I've got to get it reset, and I've got to get it clean to my level of cleanliness, which I know there's a lot of people out there that are even more neat and tidy and organized than I am, but it just really helps me to feel better knowing that my house is put back how I like it, and that surfaces are clean, and it just makes me feel better. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get the bathroom and the kitchen, most of the main floor. The way our house is designed, we have pretty much all of our living space on the main floor, and then upstairs we have all of the bedrooms and an additional bathroom. Oh, and here you see Miles helping me with the dishwasher. This has become one of his all-time favorite things to do. So every day when we load the dishwasher, I let him fill the soap and the rinse aid when the rinse aid is needed, and he gets to start the dishwasher, and it just makes him so happy. And it teaches him a little bit of responsibility as well. So he's doing that here, and he's super excited when he gets that done, and I love having the help. And he really is a great helper. And so, I'm glad that he is starting to understand. He's going on 5 years old. He'll be 5 in February. And he's kind of starting to understand that, okay, there is actually things that you have to do, even if you don't like to do it, but we try to make it fun. And cleaning and chores is kind of one of those things. Now, he loves the animal chores. He loves the farm, but the household work is not his jam unless it's loading the dishwasher. So he's learning, and he's getting much better at it, and Mom really appreciates having his help. But yeah, I'm just getting the house in order and trying to ease my mind. And on this day, I spent a solid 10 hours cleaning just the main level of our house. And part of that is because I'm very pregnant, and I'm getting very out of breath very easily because of where the baby is positioned right now. And so it takes me longer to do things than it normally would. Normally, if I was not pregnant, I would have been able to have this done in about 3 to 4 hours. But it did take me a solid 10 hours this day. And that, of course, included a few breaks to go play with Miles because, I don't want him just sitting around waiting for me to be done all day. And so after I got done with it, I was so tired. My back hurt, my feet were swollen, my hands were swollen. And so I had to basically rest the entire next day. And I had planned on getting this video out, but again, everything just kind of got away from me. So now it's been a couple of weeks. I'm actually going on 28 weeks pregnant now versus the 26 weeks I was pregnant in this video. And so I just wanted to take an opportunity to do the voiceover and just kind of explain some of what I'm doing. And it's kind of a funny story. The reason I'm moving everything around and really scrubbing and scrubbing the windowsills and stuff, Kyle was being so sweet, and he took the leaf blower outside of those windows there in the kitchen, and he was basically cleaning up the area where we have a few chickens that refuse to stay where all of the other chickens are in their electric fence. They fly out. And so they're out in our yard, and they're pooping and they're scratching and they're making giant messes. And we have garden beds that run along the side of our house where those windows are. And there's mulch. And the chickens had scratched all of the mulch out into the yard, and they just made this giant mess. And so Kyle took the leaf blower, and he was blowing it all back in to the beds where it's supposed to be. And boy, did it look fantastic outside when he was done. But I was not in the kitchen, and I wasn't thinking about it when he was doing that, and he didn't think about it when he was doing that. But the windows were open, and it blew all of that dirt directly into our kitchen. So that was a big mess to clean up. But once it was clean, it looked really, really good, and the outside looked good for about 2 days until the chickens destroyed it again. And so it was just one of those moments you just have to laugh at, because neither one of us even gave it a second thought. Although we will never do that again. We will always close those windows, because that was a massive mess. Just dirt on every surface, and all the knives in the knife block had to be washed, and all the utensils out by the stove had to be washed, and all my little knickknacks had to be washed. But it was all okay. It was not the end of the world, and it's clean now. And then, of course, here's Miles. I'm letting him watch a movie while I'm cleaning, and he doesn't like it when I vacuum. So here in a few minutes, you'll see he's kind of afraid of the vacuum. I don't know if he thinks it's gonna suck up his toes or something, but you'll see him here in a minute running away from the vacuum. But yeah, just trying to get the living room a little bit cleaned up. I had actually spot cleaned this room a couple days before this, so I didn't have a whole lot I needed to do in there. But while I was cleaning everything else, I wanted it to be freshened up as well. And one thing I've learned since living on the farm. We don't wear our shoes in the house. We take them off at the porch. But even with doing that, we have hardwood floors and we live on a gravel road. And of course we have cornfields and bean fields and everything around us. And with having our windows open, which we love the fresh air, and I would not change that, but with having that open, it blows all of that dust in from the gravel and farm, and the hardwood floors and the rugs are always dirty. And this room right here, this is our mud room / porch where we take our shoes off. This is the bane of my existence. This room is always a disaster. It is the catch-all. It's where we have the laundry to go downstairs into the laundry room. It's where Kyle comes in and dumps his stuff when he is in a hurry. It's where we all kick our shoes off. I dump my purse here. Miles dumps everything here. And this room is just always a disaster. And it is always stressing me out. And so literally every day I am in here cleaning this and and every day it's ruined again. But you know, that's just part of life. And especially when you live on a farm, and there's got to be at least one dumping ground. Now this is Miles's playroom / my workout room. I have my Peloton in there, and I have been riding my Peloton during this pregnancy, and it has been helping some with my hip and back pain. But mostly this room is Miles's playroom, and it also becomes a disaster, but it's a playroom, so I don't care as much. The one thing that I am looking forward to, we had planned to replace the carpet. You can kind of see we had already started cutting some of it out. And we planned to replace that last year before we got married and moved in. But we just ran out of time, and it's harder to work on those kinds of projects when you live in the house. So we still haven't done it. But it is slated to get done here pretty soon and redo the flooring in there. It's going to be like a wood look vinyl tile that comes out in the same tile that we have in the bathroom there. But it'll come out and fill this entire room, and that will help keep this area cleaner as well, especially with it being Miles's playroom. Thank you guys for watching. I am pretty happy with what I got done today. I didn't get everything that was on my list done, but there's always tomorrow. I ran out of energy, and at this stage in the pregnancy, the bending over and picking things up all day long really starts to hurt after a while, so I need to rest. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I will pick back up, and I'll probably just keep posting stuff to a nesting series over the next several weeks because we have a ton of stuff to do. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely feel free to follow along. If that's not what you came to this channel for, you came here more for homesteading stuff, we will be getting back to that very shortly. In fact, pretty soon I will be announcing our 2025 CSA program, the details on that, and we'll start getting stuff ready for that program. So it won't be long, and we'll be back to our regular homesteading type content. But again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.